I'd like to teach you a little physics tonight. If you affirmed me as a speaker, you knew this would happen. And if you didn't affirm me, this was probably what you were afraid of. But please, bear with me. There's a concept in theoretical physics called relativity. Its basic idea is that two objects moving at different speeds see things in different ways. You've probably experienced something like this riding a local train when an express catches up to you in the tunnel. And there's that moment when you look out the window and both trains are going the same speed, so it feels like both trains are standing still. And then you make awkward eye contact with someone on the other train, but you're suddenly saved because the express pulls ahead. From your perspective, the express is accelerating. The rider on the express, though, sees that the local is decelerating. In physics, this all has crazy implications, including time slowing down and things getting really short and also super heavy, but the whole concept is based on frames of reference. Someone in one frame of reference experiences a completely different reality from someone in another frame. The maddening, difficult, and fascinating part of all this is that there isn't a correct or universal frame that we can say is the definitive truth. The best we can do is to remember that there are these different realities and to base our calculations accordingly. You're probably wondering if I'm done with the nerd talk, and the answer is yes. You can wake up now. The reason I mention frames of reference is that people are so deeply divided today. And these frames, these individual pockets of reality, are what keep us separated. Look at the red-blue divide in America, for instance. Look at the rabid Mets-Yankees split. Look at Friends Seminary. It's easy to box yourself into a single frame of mind, to impose your frame of reference on someone else's actions without remembering that they have a background or experience, a completely different reality from yours. It's so much easier and simpler to decide someone is racist or ignorant or naive or anti-Semitic than to engage in the messy work of trying to communicate and understand when conflicts arise. Other people's truths are just as valid to them as ours are to us. Nobody is the villain in their own story. And without understanding and accepting that, we remain divided. It's difficult, complicated, and tiring, especially when those truths are at odds with our own. But to paraphrase writer and journalist H.L. Mencken, for every complex problem, there's an answer that is clear, simple, and wrong. The world is full of complex problems, especially when it comes to people, relationships, and power. And whether we're dealing with international conflicts, discomfort in a classroom, or sibling squabbles, it's our responsibility to find nuanced, just solutions to them. History's shown time and time again that covering up issues or silencing voices doesn't work. The way to solve problems and change the world for the better is by understanding frames of reference. This is not to say you must accept every point of view. It's not to say that people aren't racist or sexist or bigoted. Rather, we must think openly and critically about all frames, taking into account the truths or lack thereof in each, and then making an informed decision about our own opinions and actions. It's impossible for any one point of view to encompass the full picture. And so by widening our horizons and empathizing, even with perspectives that we don't agree with, we become wiser and better. Some people say this graduating class of 2018 is difficult, but if there's one thing we've done really well, it's taking the Quaker values of community and dialogue to heart. We have the courage to speak our minds, and we truly try to listen to all sides. That's what sets us apart. We are difficult in the best possible way, and that makes me incredibly proud to be a member of this class. We are so talented and passionate. On these benches sit future pioneers in science, famous artists, successful entrepreneurs, and world leaders. But what is more important than all that is our willingness to look into different frames of reference. It's our drive to understand those foreign ideas and to constantly improve and grow, no matter how difficult and uncomfortable it may be. In the end, life isn't about who said what, or who was right, or which train wins the race through the tunnel. It's about making a difference for the better of all, making sure that everyone, regardless of background or belief or perspective, reaches the station, despite the MTA's best efforts to delay us. Together, we can find more complete and lasting solutions. Together, we will make it there. And relativity will be the light that guides us through the tunnel. Thank you.